distinguished ladies and gentlemen, of course, the various directors here present. I acknowledge the presence of Dr. Bafu, the immediate past director technical of the Ministry of Health, who is presently with the Directorate of Oncology. I think I've had the privilege to welcome all of you to the 2024 Year Performance Review Conference of the hospital, which is meant to assess our performance for the first half of the year 2024. We thank Almighty God for seeing us through the year so far. I also want to express my gratitude to all stakeholders of the hospital, including the board, the directors, members of staff, the various unions and philanthropists whose contributions have helped to bring us this far. Without the grace of God and the very diverse support of you, our internal stakeholders and external stakeholders, the marked improvements we are witnessing around the hospital could not have been possible. There have been noticeable enhancements in the infrastructure base and the operational environment and output of the hospital during the period under review, thanks to the enormous support from all our stakeholders. True to our theme for the year, the new Kath agenda, recalibrating efforts for enhanced health service outcomes, the role of stakeholders. I'm highly indebted to God and all partners for the tremendous strides we are making as a hospital in improving specialist healthcare services, research and training in this part of the country. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the period under review witnessed significant progress in the execution of a number of projects meant to enhance the delivery of quality specialist clinical care to the public. Work on the comprehensive renovation of the hospital's physiotherapy center and the laundry unit were successfully completed at a cost of over 1.6 million and 1 million respectively. The renovation of the dialysis center and main theater, as well as the establishment of a new 24-hour laboratory at the family medicine block and the assisted reproductive technology center, reached advanced stages of completion during the period under review. I must say that I was pleasantly surprised when I paid a visit to the main theater. The civil works and all the other works have been completed. We are in the procurement phase where we are ensuring that the machines, equipments needed for operationalization of the theater are gotten. And I'm sure that within the shortest possible time, this would be done. The establishment of the 24-hour laboratory center is to ensure round-the-clock provision of quality laboratory services, while the ART center would provide cutting-edge fertility treatments to the general public upon completion. The $2 million United States state-of-the-art cleft center, funded by Smile Train of the US through the Ghana Cleft Foundation, is almost completed. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, preparations for the commencement of the pharmacy complex at the cost of $25 million United States dollars also took off, and the request for the award of the contract for the project is currently before the Central Tender Review Committee in Accra for consideration. The complex is expected to provide a one-stop center for the provision of specialist pharmaceutical services and training for the hospital, and is planned to be funded fully from internally generated funds. The introduction of courier services for refill medicines for chronic but stable patients in partnership with the Ghana Post also recorded significant growth, bringing unprecedented relief to patients from all over Ghana. So far, about 930 patients have registered to benefit from the scheme and are receiving their medications in the comfort of their homes, thanks to a special arrangement made by the hospital with the Ghana Post. Under this arrangement, patients anywhere in the hospital, in the country, can have their medicines sent to them in the comfort of their homes, and thus spare them from the ordeal and dangers involved in having to travel to the hospital unless their review days are due. One significant aspect of this special arrangement is that the patients have been assigned pharmacists by the hospital who are prompted on the phone as soon as the medicines are delivered, so that the patients can be advised on the phone on how to take them. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the hospital also managed to revitalize the operations of its hospital's dialysis center from less than 2 machines at the beginning of 2023 to 7 at the end of May 2024. That's helping to expand critical dialysis care to kidney patients in the Ashanti region and beyond. The additional machines include the acquisition of 3 new ones that were procured at the cost of 1.6 million from the IGF of the hospital, and this was accompanied by 6 months' supply of consumables. The above investment and donation from the Springfield, coupled with the recent announcement of free dialysis packages by the National Health Insurance Authority, has helped to almost quadruple the number of dialysis sessions provided by the hospital. And I'm sure we'll all remember that about 334 casual staff have been moved onto the payroll, government payroll. And what we intend to do is to have 6 more dialysis machines procured using IGF as a fallout from that conversion. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, for about 80 sessions per month, the dialysis center at the hospital is now recording over 300 sessions per month at the moment. The hospital has also completed the renovation of its old dialysis center and will need about 25 new dialysis machines to fully stock its 2 centers to enable it conveniently meet the growing demand for the service. At the moment, the demand is so high that the engineers are not able to service the machines as expected because they are constantly under use. Though 2 new and 3 refurbished machines are expected to be donated by the Ghana Airport Company Limited and the Springfield Group respectively, the hospital is in dire need of additional machines to fully meet the needs of patients, hence the need for the government and the public to support. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, thanks to the Asantehene Kath renovation project, for the first time since its construction in 1954, the comprehensive renovation and modernization of the old G blocks at the hospital has commenced. The King is leading the charge to raise about $10 million United States dollars needed for the project, and almost 40% of the targeted amount has been realized. That Hill Komfo Anokye project, HICAP, the renovation works was A3, A4 and 5, and at A block, both at A block, have reached advanced stages of completion. This followed the successful repair and restoration of the entire concrete roof of the blocks A, B, C, D, which have stopped the perennial leakage of water into the walls whenever it rained. The renovation works are meant to modernize all wards at the blocks to enhance the delivery of high-quality inpatient services at the hospital. On behalf of the board, management staff, and patients of the hospital, I wish once again to convey my heartfelt appreciation to the Krora of Pimso Asantehene for his exemplary leadership in the initiation of the project. I'm also grateful to Jasmo Constructions Limited and J-Shop Construction Limited, the 2 lead sponsors of the projects, and other partners and individuals for their contributions so far. The leadership of the hospital and HICAP is determined to ensure that everything is done right to ensure the success of the project, for which reason a lot of emphasis and commitment are being made towards ensuring accountability and transparency in how the project is being executed. The periodic detailed publication of all the donations in the newspapers and also on the website of HICAP is testament to this commitment. I'm therefore happy that these commitments and efforts are being recognized internationally, with the Hill Komfo Anokye project being adjudged as the transformative health procurement project of the year at the recently held 6th Africa Procurement and Supply Chain Awards. I think we can do better. We will continue to appeal to the public and corporate Ghana in particular to come on board as Kath, being the sole tertiary healthcare provider in this part of the country. Kath has served Ghana well and deserves to be restored to serve the public better. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, there was equally encouraging development on some of our key clinical service indicators, especially in the areas of OPD and tenders. And note that in the average, we receive about 1,086 patients every year visiting our OPDs. So investigations of diagnostic services and institutional deaths. Specialist OPD cases recorded for the period were 133,480 as against a target of 130,274. Laboratory and radiology services registered were about 134,500 and 33,700 as against the targets of 100,842 and 31,910 respectively. Institutional deaths also dropped by 3.7% over the 2023 figure. Inpatient admissions, surgeries, deliveries, and physiotherapy services, however, recorded figures below their targets due in part to the ongoing renovation projects at the hospital during the period. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as I bring my address to a close, I want all of us to be mindful of the leadership role that this hospital plays in the provision of tertiary healthcare services, especially in the middle and northern belt, access to healthcare of the country for the public. And see how best we must endeavor we can innovate to continue to dedicate ourselves to hard work and the provision of patient-centered services to the public. I hope that this conference will provide an engaging platform for all of us to assess our performance for the first half of the year, even as we hold on to the horns of the altar. May the good Lord which bless you all for your attention.
Even as we hold on to the horns of the altar. May the good Lord bless you all for your attention.
Thank you very much, Professor Ochade Mensah. I think together